Hey there, Brig Abercrombie here, fishing today out at Lake Caroline in Madison County, Mississippi. We came out here today to try to catch some bass. Beautiful day. It's been awesome as far as the weather. Nice, cool, early September morning. Started off this morning, we were going to fish some rocks along the dam and throw a topwater bait. Well, the topwater bait that I chose to go with was this popper style bait. This particular one is missing a bunch of the paint now. Had a little success this morning throwing this bait, and basically this morning the fish were really holding close to the bank and throwing this bait and really working it slow, and the fish were actually more aggressive when the bait was still. And a lot of the hits we got were coming when the bait was sitting still rather than when it was actually moving. Back here. Is it a bass? I've been catching fish on that thing. They ain't all been as big as the bait, but I've been catching fish on it. Got it? It's about the same as the last one.
We got here this morning at Lake Caroline before daylight. It was we had a beautiful full moon last night. Got to watch sunrise. Early this morning we had a lot of luck on topwater, kind of fishing the rock riprap. It's actually kind of going into a early fall pattern simply because the temperature here this morning was probably 61 degrees. We kind of really had a mild August. We've had a lot of water, so the lake levels are high, and there was a lot of brim. Mainly, I think, the forage they were feeding on. Caught most of our fish on a spitting image and a popper at daylight. Then when the sun came up, since the water's rising and a little cooler, we were targeting fish in the 3 to 5 foot range on flats, chasing the shad. The shad were about 3/4 of the way back in the pockets. My favorite choice is a banded flatmax when that's happening, a shallow bill. When you're fishing it on about 10-pound vicious fluorocarbon, it'll actually get bottom in 6 foot, and it really mimics the size shad this time of year in our area. I like a Challenger cranking rod. Both of these companies are out of Mississippi. Flatmax, Bandit Flatmax is out of Batesville. Challenger rods are out of Hattiesburg. It's one of my favorite reels. I've been using it for a long time. You can kind of see it's beat up. But basically, when we were covering those flats, I was following the contour lines with the depth finder, and most of the fish seemed to be in the guts where you kind of would go in a little. It might dip in as much as 10, 12 feet. And usually if you bump some structure or something, that was good. You could at least catch more than one then. And most of the time when you come here to Lake Caroline, you can usually pick up 15 or 20 out of that. And I think simply because of the full moon, the fish were feeding at night. So we were only able to pick up a few stragglers on that pattern.